Hello everyone, I am Bhavna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, GenTech. In previous lecture, we have started with turnover ratios. We have discussed the debtor turnover ratio, stock turnover ratio, capital turnover ratio. Now we'll discuss further turnover ratios. One of it is creditors turnover ratio. Creditors turnover ratio tells us the relationship between the credit purchases of the firm and the accounts payable. It tells us the speed with which the payment is made by company to the suppliers of the goods. So the formula to calculate creditors turnover ratio is net credit purchases upon average accounts payable. So credit purchases will include the creditors, the net credit purchase, that means purchases minus any purchase returns. While the average accounts payable will include the average creditors plus average bills payable. That means opening and closing balance of creditors and bills payable. Now, for average payment period, that is based on the creditors turnover ratio. So likewise, we have calculated the average collection period. In the same way, we can calculate average payment period. That means number of days in a year, or number of weeks in a year, or number of months in a year, divided by creditors turnover ratio. Now next is assets turnover ratio. Assets turnover ratio tells us the relationship between the net assets and the net sales and the tangible assets. So formula is simple, net sales upon tangible assets. Next ratio is current asset turnover ratio. So from the name, it is clear that it tells us a relationship between net sales and the current assets of the firm. Next ratio is working capital turnover ratio. Again, from the name, it is clear that it tells us the relationship between working capital and the sales of the firm. That means number of times an unit invested in the working capital to produce the sales. So the formula is net sales upon working capital. Working capital can be calculated by deducting the current liabilities from the current assets. Next is fixed assets turnover ratio. Fixed assets turnover ratio tells the extent to which fixed assets contribute to the sales. So higher the ratio, better it is. That means a firm is better utilizing its fixed assets. So the formula is net sales divided by fixed assets. So all the ratios tell us the relationship between a particular item with the net sales. Now an example is given, that is sales of a company is given as 15 lakh. Out of 15 lakh, 40% is the cash sales. That means 60% is credit sales. Gross profit is given 7,50,000 rupees. Purchases are 7,50,000 rupees. And in the question, it is mentioned that you have to take 360 days in a year. In the absence of such information, we have to take 365 days in a year. So on the basis of this information, we have to calculate all the turnover ratios. Now, balance sheet is given. On the liability side, we are given equity share capital, preference share capital, reserves, that means shareholders' funds. Then we are given debentures, that is long-term debt. Then we are given the current liabilities, that is creditors, bank overdraft, bills payable, and outstanding expenses. Then fixed asset is given, only plant is given. Then current assets are given, that is stock, debtors, bills receivable, and cash. And fictitious assets are also given. Now, first we'll calculate the stock turnover ratio. The formula to calculate stock turnover ratio is cost of goods sold divided by the average stock. So cost of goods sold, we can calculate directly as we are given sales, that is 15 lakh, and gross profit as 7,50,000. So this information is already given in the question. So cost of goods sold is 7,50,000 for this firm. Then we have to calculate the average stock. Average stock is the average of opening and the closing stock. So opening stock is given as 3,25,000 and closing stock is given in the balance sheet, that is 1,75,000. So average stock will be 2,50,000. So we just have to put these values in the formula, that is cost of goods sold 7,50,000 upon average stock, that is 2,50,000. So for this firm, the stock turnover ratio is 3 times. Next, we can calculate the debtors turnover ratio. The formula to calculate debtors turnover ratio is net credit sales upon average debtors plus average receivables. Now, in the question, we have been given sales as 15 lakh and 40% cash sales. That means remaining 60% is the credit sale. So out of 15 lakh, 60% we can calculate, that is 9 lakh is the credit sale. Then debtors is given as 3,50,000 and bills receivable is given 50,000. Now here average opening and closing balance of debtors and bills receivable is not given. So we cannot take the average. So we are taking simply the values of debtors and bills receivable. So 9 lakh upon 4 lakh is 2.25 times. Debtors turnover ratio for this particular firm is 2.25 times. Now, on the basis of debtors turnover ratio, we can calculate the average collection period. In the question, it was given that we have to take 360 days. So, here we take 360 days divided by debtors turnover ratio. So, 160 days is the average collection period for this firm. Next is creditors turnover ratio. So creditors have the relationship with the purchases. So net credit purchase divided by creditors plus bills payable. So purchases is given as 7,50,000. We are not given whether it is a credit purchase or cash purchase. So we'll take purchase as a credit purchase divided by creditors and bills payable. So creditors in the balance sheet is given 1 lakh and bills payable as 45,000. Again, the opening closing balance of creditors and bills payable is not given. So we will not take the average of these two. So this comes as 5.17 times. Now we can calculate the average payment period, that is 360 days divided by 5.17 times. So it comes as 69.63 days. So either we have to take 69 days or 70. We cannot take the days in points. So we have rounded off to the 70 days. Next is capital turnover ratio. Capital turnover ratio tells the relationship between net sales and the capital employed of the firm. So net sales is directly given as 15 lakh. We have to calculate the capital employed. So I've already discussed that we can calculate the capital employed with two formulas. Either we can take total assets minus fictitious assets minus the current liabilities. Now total assets is given in the question as 64 lakh and fictitious assets were 1 lakh. So current liabilities are creditors, bank overdraft, bills payable and outstanding expenses, which is 3 lakh. So minus 3 lakh. So capital employed is 60 lakh. Or with the next formula also you can calculate, That is equity share capital, preference share capital, reserves, debentures minus fictitious assets. So 20 lakh plus 20 plus 11 lakh plus 10 lakh minus 1 lakh also comes 60 lakh. So whether you calculate with the first formula or second formula, value will come automatically the same. So based on the information which is given in the question, we can calculate the capital employed with any of the formula. So capital employed is 60 lakh. So 15 lakh divided by 60 lakh is 0.25 times. So capital turnover ratio for this particular firm is 0.25 times. Now next is asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio is the ratio between net sales and the tangible assets. Tangible assets means all the assets of the firm, leaving the fictitious assets. So total assets in the question is given as 64 lakh. We can deduct fictitious assets 1 lakh. So we'll get the tangible assets. So current assets and the fixed assets are the tangible assets of the firm. Sales we have already given 15 lakh divided by tangible assets 63 lakh. So 0.23 times is the asset turnover ratio. Next is current asset turnover ratio. So net sales divided by current assets. So whatever particular asset we have to calculate, we just have to put that in the denominator. If it is current assets, we'll write current assets. If it is fixed assets, we'll divide it by fixed assets. If it is tangible assets, we'll divide it by tangible assets. Now current assets are given in the question, that is stock, debtors, bills receivable and cash. So that means 1,75,000 plus 3,50,000 plus 50,000 plus 2,25,000. So which comes as 8 lakh. So net sales 15 lakh divided by 8 lakh is 1.87 times. Now next is working capital turnover ratio. Working capital turnover ratio is the relationship between net sales and the working capital of the firm. Working capital is the difference between current assets and the current liabilities of the firm. Current assets we have already calculated, that is 8 lakh. Current liabilities also is 3 lakh. So we'll deduct the current assets with the current liabilities, that is 5 lakh. So net sales 15 lakh divided by 5 lakh would be 3 times. So working capital turnover ratio is 3 times. Next is fixed asset turnover ratio. Fixed asset turnover ratio tells the relationship between net sales and the fixed assets. So fixed asset, only plant is given in the question, that is 55 lakh. So net sales 15 lakh divided by 55 lakh is 0.27 times. So fixed asset turnover ratio for this particular firm is 0.27 times. So we have calculated all the turnover ratios based on the question. Thank you. That's all for today.